What is up? This is Drew over at the Star Sound Studio. We're getting into it with our artist interview series, and I'm here with my boy Sin95. What is up, man?
How you doing? What's up, bro? How you been?
Good, man. Appreciate you coming through.
Always chilling, always chilling.
So I want to chop it up a little bit with you. I had a couple questions. How would you describe the music that you typically create?
Mine? So the music that I make, honestly, I would say it's a little bit of everything. Like, I don't really have a set dynamic for it. I just do like more or less what I feel. I mean, I can do, sad music. I do the punk rock genre. I can do more or less like what I'm feeling, the emotion. I feel like being real and authentic to what you're doing really speaks to a lot of people in high volumes. You know what I mean? Like, if I go out and I make some random little club thing or whatever, it's not going to hit as much as a song that's going to be like, I'm dealing with this, I'm dealing with that, and people can really relate to that.
Gotcha.
That's how I do it.
So when you first started coming through, we were doing a lot of hip hop stuff. What made you transition into the alternative music, guitar type melodic stuff?
Originally, I'm very big on hip hop. Like, since I was a kid, is the only way that I could really express myself. I was in a studio at one point in time. I was kind of doing like this Post Malone vibe, but I was gonna keep it hip hop all the way. And I was working with Jay, and then he was like, "Why don't you try to like sing a little bit?" And I'm like, "I'm not a singer, bro." Like,
so Jay did this.
Yeah, like I'm not a singer at all.
All right.
But then he was like, "Dude, try it." And I was trying. And he was like, "Yo, hit these notes." And like I didn't know what type of notes they were, but then I started feeling it, and then we were both thinking about it. Like, well, what'd you feel in the 2000s? Let's bring that back. Let's do the 2000s vibe. You know what I mean? So that's what it was. And then from there, I just went to a whole scene on that. Like, it went from hip hop to punk rock, and I was like, why not?
That's crazy. Your punk rock stuff is really doing a lot of stuff on Instagram. Can you tell us a little bit about the last song that you did?
So that one, the most newest one is Butterflies, and it's honestly, it's on every platform right now. Spotify, Deezer, DistroKid is around YouTube right now as well, iTunes. And it's really chill. It's a chill vibe like the entire time, to be honest. And I will say that the song represents what I've been through this past week. Like, it's exactly really new. So like word for word. While I was doing it, I kind of kept my normal voice, and then in between I kind of had a little bit of that punk rock voice in there to kind of like switch dynamics. But honestly, like throughout the entire thing, I like the way it came out. Like I like the vibes that was sitting there. I was just with Jay up front, just relaxing, just like letting it roll. What's
the one thing that he does that really helps you get the notes proper?
Honestly, so like it's kind of like teaching me at the same time. Like, we have fun the entire time doing it. He lets me go ramble like as much as possible, like my freeness. And then usually what I kept doing was also like doing the same thing back. Like, if he's got ideas, just throw them at me. Like, I'm rolling with them. So like if I'm doing a certain pitch, he'll tell me like, and then I'll match it, and then he'll do up and down, up and down. And
so
then,
he's kind of coaching you through the process.
Yeah.
And you find that helps you get to the point where it's like more professional sounding?
100%.
Awesome.
Because honestly, I've never done it. Like, I wasn't in chorus, you know what I mean? So if we can play with that idea back to back, like I'm jumping for it, like I'm doing it.
Nice.
You know what I mean? And a lot of the end product, like a lot of people are actually liking that.
Hell yeah.
They're like, dude, like jump on a punk rock, go ahead. And I'm like, I'll go in between. That's the thing. Like, I like having fun. I like expanding my horizons. Like, I might do a country song, just pause on that one, but at a random. I've done a Spanish track as well, so I'm kind of like going in all these fields because the wider variety is kind of like throwing a fishnet, you know what I mean? I'm throwing it out there, so like this way my name gets tangled in a lot of things. You never know.
Multiple genres.
Yeah, 100%.
Who are you listening to now that is inspiring you to go in that direction?
With the punk rock?
Yeah.
I mean, with the punk rock style, I listen to a little bit of Post Malone every now and then to get me into a vibe. I listen to Mayday Parade every now and then. Listen to Sleeping with Sirens.
There you
listen to Red Jumpsuit Apparatus. The other one, like
so you get into all that early 2000s emo type stuff.
Dude, I love the vibes, man. Like, American Rejects and all that. Listening to a lot of those as well, I was like, why not? Like, let's just jam out. Let's go into that vibe. And then like I'll sing with them so that my notes at a certain time can kind of like be similar. So then when I come over here, it's more easy. I'm just out there. I'm like, all right, let's do it. Let's go out.
Talk about that some more. So you're in your car, you're driving, you're listening to your music, and you're training yourself to be a better singer when you come in the studio by singing against the tracks that you like.
Yeah. So pretty much like I'll put like the old music in like the 2000s era, and I'll put some of the new music. But as long as it's in the same genre as what I'm mixing with, I like doing that. And it helps me kind of like work on my singing. Like, again, I'm not professional at singing, but it gets me more confident to just throw those vocals out. Definitely. Just cause. And a lot of the ones that are like screaming and yelling, I'm like, well, why not? That's where I'm going anyway. So like, I might as well get my vocals used to that. You know, when I first did it, it took me a while. Don't get me wrong. Like, it took me a while because my voice kind of dried up really quickly, and now it's like it's more lenient. Now it's like, oh, I'm used to this, so let's do it.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it's more fun too.
So tell me about social media. It seems like your fan base is growing. What is the one thing that you're doing to engage with your followers to get them to listen to your music some more?
I mean, I do a lot of the open mics. You know, I'm out there with the open mics. A couple of my Ubers as well, because I do Uber. And a couple of my Ubers will listen to my songs and they'll be asking me.
So you throw your music on while you're Ubering?
Yeah, trust me. Promotion has no end. So like I'm over here just jamming to my music randomly and they're like, oh my God, like that sounds really nice. Like who is that? And literally I'm like, oh, that's me. And they look at me baffled. And I'm like, well, here's a card.
That's
so
freaking
if you really want to listen to more, you know, like why not? And then other than the open mics, you know, like I'll hang around some people randomly and just freestyle just cause. And a little bit of freestyle gets people like, oh man, like he does music. No, actually, then again, I can still promote more. And, you know, messing around on TikTok, you know, I got a large, so far from what I understand is a large view, like 11.4K, you know, people following. And
that's huge, man.
Yeah, so like
and you do those little like parody videos too, I see.
Yeah. So like I'll do some of those videos, I'll do sad videos, funny videos, you know, kind of retarded videos. In between that, I'll mix in the music, so it's just there, you know what I mean? So and then with the
so
music
you're like
as well,
subliminally putting the music into your funny videos to get people to listen to what you're doing.
Every now and then, you know, like I'm trying to get my name.
This is gold for everybody out there to see, because if you're doing these type of videos and you're not integrating your music that you're recording into those videos, I mean, it's free music. Instead of stealing somebody else's music, you're using your own.
And it's gotten to the point, actually, like if you type in Sin95, like not only does my page come up, but actually my audio comes up. So you can use those audios as well. Like
on social media.
Yeah.
So people can use your music on their videos.
Yeah, they can use it on their videos. And that just gets more people into it as well.
So when explain to everybody how you got your music into TikTok and into Instagram for them to be able to use it.
So pretty much when I'm doing my promos, like I go through DistroKid. Now DistroKid is the main site that I use, and then that literally it publishes to every major platform that they have. And I literally check these all the time, and it's on every single thing, like Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, you know what I mean, like YouTube. It goes everywhere.
Right.
I've done it so much to the point where like if you're on Spotify and you type Sin95, mine's is the first one that comes up. Because there's actually other artists for some reason with the same name, so the only way to stay relevant is to be top chart type thing.
Right.
So with the Spotify, I've used it so much where like now my name is the first thing that comes out. When it comes to TikTok, you put Sin95, boom, immediately comes out, and like that's what I'm aiming for. But it's enough for me to be able to get the amount of people into what I'm doing. Right. It's enough for them to be like, dude, this guy's relevant. You know what I mean? Like, who are you listening to? Bet, same person. And then like even at my old job as well, like in the restaurant, they would just blast my music just cause, and that was another way of promoting.
That's
like
awesome.
It never ends. You know what I mean? And like the best way for you to promote is self-promote, honestly. Like you can't wait for anybody else. You got to throw yourself out there and just be that person.
You can't, you know
I mean?
There's no begging a label anymore. It's, you know, you just make a choice to put your music out and promote it as you see fit. And maybe if you have enough followers, you'll get a label that might want to partner with you. But at some point, if you have enough followers, if you have your music out there already, what's the point of even having a label?
Yeah, no, at that point, I mean, you can be a self-label regardless. You can do your own thing. It's all about pretty much getting out there, you know what I mean? Like if somebody, it's word of mouth. That's how I look at it.
Right.
Like one person says something, and I look at it this way as well. There are some people that may be negative about the views. There are some that are positive. I say publicity is publicity, whether it's positive or negative, because if my name's in your mouth at some point in time, you are going to listen to the music and you're going to depend on that point you're going to choose.
Any news is good news.
100%.
Okay.
Because then I stay relevant.
Right.
So that's how I do it. Because like I went from not even being out here in general to like everybody calls me like Sin95, this and that. Like they know me by my artist name. They probably forgot my actual name. So like now it's just that, like that's just who it is.
Right.
You know, so like when it comes to a new track, when are you dropping it? When are you dropping it? Like every single time. So like when I come through these doors, bro, like I'm ecstatic, like immediately. As soon as I get through here, it's like a second home for me. So if you don't see me out there, I'm here. That's how that works. So like that's why I always tell everybody. They're like, oh, what are you doing? Studio. I'm busy.
All right, you guys heard it first, man. Sin95 over to Star Sound Studio. Appreciate you coming through. How does everybody find you?
They can look me up on Spotify, honestly, like Sin95. If you want like the TikTok version, is Sin95 Music. That's another way of looking at it. Pretty much any platform, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, no matter what, I still got the exact same name. So you can always find me regardless.
All right, look up Sin95 on all the platforms, and definitely get with us, the Star Sound Studio. You can book in at thestarsoundstudio.com. Check us out on Instagram, the Star Sound Studio, and definitely tap in our radio station over at our website. You can hear all of our artists, including Sin95's work, over at thestarsoundstudio.com. All right, peace out. Thanks.
100%.